is Ruth Avery, and this is second grade at Mount St. Mary's School. Thank you for listening to us read.
Hi, my name is Blake. I'm going to be reading No Roses for Harry. Harry was a little white dog with black spots. On his birthday, he got a present from Grandma. It was a woolen sweater with roses on it. Harry didn't like it the moment he saw it. He didn't like the roses. When he tried it on, it felt cozy and snug, but he still didn't like the roses. He thought it was the silliest sweater he'd ever seen. The next day when Harry went downtown with the children, he wore his new sweater. When people saw it, they laughed. When dogs saw it, they barked. Harry made up his mind then and there to lose Grandma's present. When they went into a big store to shop, the children took off his sweater and let him carry it. This was just what Harry wanted. First he tried to use it in the pet department, but a man found it and gave it back. Then he tried to lose it in the grocery department, but a lady found it and gave it back. Then he tried to lose it in the flower department, but a little boy found it and gave it back. The children didn't let Harry carry it anymore. They made him wear it. As they started home, Harry was beginning to think he'd never lose it. When he got home, his friends were waiting to play with him, but Harry didn't feel like playing, so they left him alone. Thank you for listening to me read. If you know how the story ends, you can check it in your local library.
Hello, my name is Zion Davidson, and I am going to be reading Miss Rumphius. The Lupine lady lives in a small house overlooking the sea. In between the rocks around her house grow blue and purple and rose-colored flowers. The Lupine lady is little and old, but she has always not been that way. I know. She is my great aunt. She told me so. Once upon a time, she was a little girl named Alice, who lived in a city by the sea. From the front stoop, she could see the wharfs and the bristling masts of tall ships. Many years ago, her grandfather had come to America on a large sailing ship. Now he worked in a shop at the bottom of the house, making figureheads for the prows of ships and carving Indians out of woods to put in front of cigar stores. For Alice's grandfather was an artist. He painted pictures, too, of sailing ships and places across the sea. When he was very busy, Alice helped him paint the skies. In the evening, Alice sat on her grandfather's knee and listened to his stories of faraway places. When he had finished, Alice would say, "When I grow up, I too will go to faraway places, and when I grow old, I too will live beside the sea." "That is all very well, little Alice," said Grandfather, "but there is a third thing you must do." "What is that?" asked Alice. "You must do something to make the world more beautiful," said her grandfather. "All right," said Alice, but she did not know what that could be. In the meantime, Alice got up and washed her face and ate porridge for breakfast. She went to school and came home and did her homework, and pretty soon she was grown up. Then my great aunt Alice set out to do the 3 things she had told her grandmother she was going to do. She left home and went to live in another city far from the sea and the salt air. There she worked in a library, dusting books and keeping them from getting mixed up, and helping people find the ones they wanted. Some of the books told her. Thank you for listening to me read. If you want to know how the story ends, you can check it out at your local library.
Hello, takes the nightie and then eating after the sun sets. Aiken drum. Did you ever hear of Aiken drum, the brownie? Did you ever hear how he came one time and lived in a village? It was on a fine warm evening in the fall that Aiken drum came to the village. The sun had gone down. The mothers came to the doors of the houses and called the children from play, for it was time to go to bed. The cows were in the barns for the night, and the men were bringing in the milk. It was then that the people of the village first heard Aiken drum. The children heard the queer noise. They stopped and said, "Is that someone, or is that the wind?" They ran to their mothers and called to their fathers. Everyone could hear the queer noise, but no one knew what it was. Then all at once, everyone saw Aiken drum as he came along. He sang a queer song in a queer little voice. Have you worked for Aiken drum? Have you worked for Aiken drum? As Aiken drum came, the little children hid behind their mothers. Even the mothers were a little afraid, and the fathers did not know what to think of this queer little man. They had never seen anyone like him. The men and the women said nothing, but the boys and girls could not keep still. One of them said, "See his long red beard? It comes down to his knees." "How little he is," said another. "What is he?" And Kilford, listening to me read. If you want to know how the story ends, you can check it out at your local library. Hello, my name's Taylor, and I'm going to be reading The Bursting Bears and the Missing Dinosaur. Bears lining up outside the door. Dr. Bear inside, packing the floor. "What's wrong in there? What's up? What's up?" wondered 3 little bears and 1 little pup. "A dinosaur bone is missing in there. Somebody took it," said Dr. Bear. "Who took that bone? Who took it? Where?" 3 little bears and their hound dog Snuff come inside with their detective stuff. There's no case too hard no case too for the bear detectives and their hound dog Snuff. The search begins, and none too soon. The Bear Museum opens at noon. They will search the place, every canny and nook. Will they find the bone? Will they find the crook?
Thank you for listening to me read. If you want to know how the story ends, you can check it out at your local library.
Hi, my name's Andy, and the book I'll be reading is Mr. Rabbit and the Lovely Present. Mr. Rabbit, said the little girl, I want help. Help, little girl, I'll give you help if I can, said Mr. Rabbit. Mr. Rabbit, said the little girl, it's about my mother. Your mother, said Mr. Rabbit. It's her birthday, said the little girl. Happy birthday to her, then, said Mr. Rabbit. What are you giving her? That's just it, said the little girl. That's why I want help. I have nothing to give her. Nothing to give your mother on her birthday, said Mr. Rabbit. Little girl, you really do need help. I would like to give her something that she likes, said the little girl. Something that she likes is a good present, said Mr. Rabbit. But what? Said the little girl. Yes, what? Said Mr. Rabbit. She likes red, said the little girl. Red, said Mr. Rabbit. You can't give her red. Something red, maybe, said the little girl. Something red, said Mr. Rabbit. What is red, said the little girl. Well, said Mr. Rabbit, there's red underwear. No, said the little girl. I can't give her that. There are red Ruths. No, said Mr. Rabbit. No, we have a Ruth, said the little girl. I don't want to give her that. Said, there are red birds. No, said the little girl. She likes birds and trees. Thank you for listening to me read. If you want to know how the story ends, you can check it out at your local library.
Hi, my name is Cole Britton, and I'm going to read Top Cat. I'm Top Cat. Pet me, I'll purr. I'll guard this place in my coat of fur. Boring job, never see a mouse. Nothing much happens in this dollhouse. Who let you in? One cat's enough. I don't want you to share my stuff. Go away, cat. You've invaded my space. And I don't like your cute little face. I fight you and bite you behind the ear. Get the message? I'm boss around here. Well, you're here to stay. I can see that. Guess I'm stuck with you, stripped cat. But there's more to do than eat and sleep. Keep your green eyes open. Watch me leap. Bounce on the couch, leaves lots of hair. Eat leaves till the plants are bare. Thank you for listening to me read. If you want to know how this story ends, you can check it out at your local library.
Hi, my name is Christopher Betty. I'm going to read Bill and Pete. William Everett Crocodile lived on the banks of the river Nile with his mama. One day, Mama said, William Everett, now that you have nice crocodiles here, we must go to Mr. Hippo's store and get you a toothbrush before you start school tomorrow. William Everett liked Mr. Hippo's store because it was full of things. He and Mama walked up one aisle and down another. They stopped in front of the toothbrush counter. You may choose your own toothbrush, William Everett, Mama said. William Everett looked and looked. Hi, said the toothbrush. What's your name? My name's William Everett. What's yours? Pete, said the toothbrush. I found the toothbrush I want, Mama, said William Everett. His name is Pete. Good, said Mama. We can go home now. So Pete became William Everett's toothbrush and his best friend too. The next morning, Mama said, William Everett, wake up. It's time to go to school. Oh, Mama, William Everett said, I can't wait to read and write and learn all about crocodile history. Thank you for listening to me read. If you would like to listen to the rest of the story, you can check it out at your local library.
Hello, my name is Jonathan Boone and I'm going to read Calvin and Hobbes. So long, Pop. I'm off to check my tiger trap. I read the tuna fish sandwich yesterday. I'm sure to have a tiger by now. They like tuna fish, huh? Tigers will do anything for a tuna fish sandwich. Kind of stupid in that way. So, Dad, what do I do when I catch a tiger? Bring it home and stuff it, Calvin. Can't you see I'm busy? Sheesh. Not really. I couldn't have another bite. What's all the noise? You're supposed to be asleep. It was Hobbs, Dad. He was jumping on the bed. Honest. Hobbs was not jumping on the bed. Now go to sleep. You were too jumping on the bed. Well, you were the one playing the cymbals. Show and tell is over, Calvin. Please put your tiger in your locker. In my locker? He'll suffocate! Well, at least put him under your chair. Phew, that was a close one. I'll say. 70 plus 3. 73. Good night, Calvin. Good night, Dad. Hey, aren't you going to say good night to Hobbs? Good night, Hobbs. That's it? No snort, no story, no smooch? Go to sleep, you sissy. What's this? Taste it. You'll love it. You know you'll hate something and they won't tell you what it is. Good night, Calvin. Will you check for monsters under the bed? No monsters, you're safe. What about the dresser? I'm sure there's no monsters in the dresser. Go to sleep. Great, I'll bet that's where they all are. As soon as we fall asleep, they'll come out and kill us. Who's gonna fall asleep? Well, we'll just have to get the monsters first. You irritate them with this one.
Thank you.
Thank you for listening to me. And if you want to know how the story ends, you can check it out at your local library.
Hello, my name is Anthony Damiano, and I am going to read the story called The Brave but Gentle Shepherd. In the little town of Bethlehem in the country of Israel, there lived a young shepherd boy. David watched over a flock of sheep for his father. In the daytime, David found good grass for the sheep to eat and cool, clean water for them to drink. At night, David counted his flock to make sure every sheep had come home. Then he built a fire to keep wild animals away. Whenever the sheep were sleepy and full, they lay down to rest near David, then felt safe beside the gentle shepherd. Sometimes a small lamb wandered away from the flock, chasing a butterfly. Then David took the crook of his walking stick and guided the lamb back to its mother. There, little one, don't wander off, said David. Stay nearby where I can see you. Then you won't get into trouble. David swooped up the lamb and gave it a squeeze. The lamb's soft wool felt nice against his face. Thank you for listening to me read. If you want to hear that story and check it up at your local library.
My name is Scott Valentine, and I'm going to be reading Rocks in My Pocket. To start at the beginning, the Woods family lived on a farm on the top of the highest mountain in these parts. Way up where the wind is your neighbor all year round. The farm was on old rocky soil, but it was the best the family could afford. And so they worked out a living any way they could. They raised knee-high corn and walnut-sized potatoes and called them good crops. You hear no complaints. Their house was drafty, the animals skinny, and their clothes patched out of what was at hand. But one thing they all did have was pockets, and that was mighty important. For in the pockets they carried rocks. Rocks? Yes, rocks. Every morning when they set out to work, Father and Mother and Tommy and Jenny, Father would always say, "Be sure you put some rocks in your pocket. Now put them rocks into your pockets or the wind will be likely to blow you away." And he was right, for the wind did blow fierce across their mountaintop field. So Father and Mother and Grandpa and Tommy and Jenny would all pick up rocks and carry them in there. Thank you for listening to me read. If you like to hear the rest of the story, please check it out at your local library.
Hello, my name is Jennifer Layfield, and I'm going to be reading The Legend of the Dipper. A kind act is often its own reward. There had been no rain in the land for a very long time. It was so hot and so dry the flowers were withered, and the grass was parched and brown, and even the big strong trees were dying. The water dried up the creeks, the rivers, the wells were dry. The fountains stopped bubbling. The cows, the dogs, the horses, the birds, and all the people were so thirsty. Everyone felt uncomfortable and sick. There was one little girl whose mother grew very ill. "Oh," said the little girl, "if only I could find some water for my mother, I'm sure she will be well again. I must find some water." So she took a tin cup and started out in search of water. By and by she found a tiny little stream away upon a mountainside. It was almost dry. The water dropped ever so slowly from under the rock. The little girl held her cup carefully and caught the drops. She waited and waited a long, long time until the cup was full of water. She started down the mountain holding the cup very carefully, for she did not want to spill a single drop. On the way, she passed a poor little dog. He could hardly drag himself along. He was panting for breath, and his tongue hung from his mouth because he was so dry and parched. "Oh, you poor little dog," said the little girl. "You are so thirsty. I can't pass you without giving you a few drops of water." Thank you for listening to me read. If you want to hear the story again, you can check it out at your local library. Hi, my name's Jamie Chinner, and I'm going to be reading George Washington and the Cherry Tree. When George was a little boy, he lived on a farm in Virginia. His father taught him how to ride, and he used to take young George out about the farm with him so that his son might learn how to take care of fields and horses and cattle when he grew older. Mr. Washington had planted an orchard of fine fruit trees. There were apple trees, peach trees, and pear trees, plum trees, and cherry trees. Once a particular fine cherry tree was sent to him from across the ocean. Mr. Washington planted it on the edge of the orchard. He told everyone on the farm to watch it carefully to see that it was not broken or hurt in any way. It grew well, and one spring it was covered with white blossoms. Mr. Washington was pleased to think he would soon have cherries from the little tree. Just about this time, George was given a shiny new hatchet. George took it and went about chopping sticks, chopping in the rails of fences and cutting wherever else he passed. At last he came to the edge of the orchard, and thinking only of how well his hatchet could cut. Thank you for listening to me read. If you would like to hear how the story ends, check it out at your local library.
Hi, my name is Valerie Joplin. I'm going to be reading The Relatives Came. It was in the summer of the year when the relatives came. They came up from Virginia. They left when their grapes were merely purple enough to pick, but not quite. They had an old station wagon that smelled like a real car, and in it they put an ice chest full of soda pop and some boxes of crackers.
and some bologna sandwiches, and up they came from Virginia. They left at 4 in the morning when it was still dark, before even the birds were awake. They drove all day long and into the night, and while they traveled along, they looked at the strange houses and different mountains. They thought about their almost purple grapes back home. They thought about Virginia, but they thought about us too, waiting for them. So they drank up all their pop and ate up all their crackers and traveled up all those miles until finally they pulled into our yard. Then it was hugging time. Talk about hugging. Those relatives just passed us all around their car, holding us against their wrinkled Virginia clothes, crying sometimes. They hugged us for hours. Thank you for listening to me read. If you want to know how the story ends, check it out at your local library.
Hi, my name is Emily Vick, and I'm going to read Tiny is a Hero.
What was that? Said Molly, leaping up from her cot. The other girls sat up. Mary Beth's eyes were wide open. As a big and saucers, they listened. They had goosebumps on their arms, but all they could hear was the wind roaring in the trees. It was probably just an animal, said Lisa bravely. Lisa's mother was nearby, but no close enough, thought Lisa. What kind of animal makes a ghost noise? Asked Rachel. A wild animal, said Mary Beth, rolling her eyes toward the tent door. A wild animal, yelled Rachel. I want to go home. A wild animal could eat us. A wild animal is more dangerous than a ghost. Molly didn't know which was more dangerous. She didn't know if she would rather meet a ghost or a tiger. A ghost, she decided. No, a tiger, she thought, changing her mind. It's gone away, said Lisa, who felt she had to be brave with her mother, but she could be a sissy. The children lay back on the cots. Thank you for listening to me read. If you want to check this story out, you can check it out at your local library.
Hi, my name is Ryan Tice, and I'm going to be reading The Boy Who Ran Away. There was a family once with two sons. The older son did what needed doing. The younger son did what he liked. He said, I had rather not be part of the family. But you need money to do what you like. The younger son had a bright idea. He asked his father for half of the family's money. That was his share. Then he went away to do what he liked with it. He didn't spend it wisely. Pretty soon, it was all gone. He wondered why nobody liked him anymore. There had been no rain all year. The ground dried up, plants died. There was little to eat. People begged him for money, but he had no money left to give. He had to beg too, and nobody would give him a piece of bread even. It was not an agreeable job, and he was so hungry he went after the pig food and ate it. Thank you for listening to me read. If you want to hear the rest of the story, you can check it out at the local library.
What's cool? Reading! Where do you go to school?